back to Arc Salt Lake. We cover authentic, relevant, and community stories. And today we're talking about positive psychology with Dr. Mark Burton.
We got 3 questions from viewers, but they're all kind of asking about the same thing. So I'm just going to read them all to you, and then maybe you can answer them all.
Yes.
Is positive psychology just about making people happy? That's question 1. Question 2, is positive psychology the same as positive thinking? And 3, this one made me laugh a little bit. What is the difference between positive psychology and all the self-help, positive thinking crap that is out there?
Someone has probably had a negative experience
with the self-help book.
So here's my answer to all of those. I think, yes, it's about making people happy, but it's not just about the thought process. What's missing maybe that we didn't cover in the first segment, it's all about behavior. It's about how we act. And so you can have a positive thought. It's like, what are the things that make you happy? What makes you smile? But then the next step that's really important is you've got to have behavior. And so maybe the only one of those 5 concepts that we talked about that is mostly a mental process might be the gratitude practice, because you're thinking about that. But even then, when I talk to people, it's really important not just to do it in your head, but if you have that gratitude practice, you're writing them down. That's a really important part of that process. So you can go back and read it. The behavior of writing it down. And so, for instance, values. Let's try something. Here's something I call the behavioral roadmap. So a quality or a virtue that you want to have, or you may have it, that you think is important. Just give me one.
Being kind.
Being kind. So if you have the top layer is being kind, then the really important part is give me 3 behaviors that someone who is kind does every day. And so you list these behaviors. Just give me one behavior of someone who's kind.
Being kind, but nice to other people.
Nice to other people.
Complimentary.
It's complimentary, and so you can get fairly detailed, right? Now this takes some work, but what you do is you create this, what I call behavioral roadmap, to become the person you want to be.
Okay.
And so I think a lot of people go through life every day and they really don't think about what it is they're doing or what they can do differently that might make them happy. And so,
but if you break it down like that,
you break it down.
I'm going to work on a few of those things, doing those things.
Yeah, little bits at a time.
Right. And so what I say to people, it takes a lot of time, but I think it's a lifelong process. And so you make this list of these qualities or these virtues, and then open it up every day. I think it's important to write it down and maybe keep it on a computer. Open it up every day and pick one and just say, okay, today I'll do that. Okay. It's not like you have to do everything because that becomes overwhelming. So that's not the point. It's just the point is every day you're picking something, a behavior that you're going to work on that gets you toward that end goal.
And putting it into practice.
And putting it into practice and do something different every day. And so going back to that first question, is it about making people happy? I think a lot of people come into our office and we talk about either their self-esteem is low or how they feel about themselves. And I think one of the best ways to raise your self-esteem is by using this behavioral roadmap, because what you do is you define who you want to be, the self-concept. I believe that the closer you get to living or behaving that self-concept, the higher your self-esteem is. So self-esteem is really an internal barometer of how we think the world sees us.
Okay.
That's all about behavior.
And if you're making other people happy, that makes you happy.
That makes you, I mean, it can be part of that, but it's about behavior. So that's how I would respond to all those.
Yeah.
It's not just the mental process.
Yeah.
The behavior that follows is critical.
Yeah.
Okay.
And practicing gratitude. Yeah. You say that's a daily thing that you
I think
need
it's
to
a
do.
daily thing because that shifts the negative focus more to a positive one on a daily basis.
So when we're driving in the morning at 3 o'clock,
so
saying I get to go to work today.
What could be your positive thought?
I mean, and I tried, but it's like, oh my gosh, it's 3 o'clock in the morning and I'm going to work.
So it's dark.
But I try to find, well, it's a fun job.
Yeah.
And I work with fun people. So I try to find the good things
Yes.
that we get to do every day.
I do it at the end of each day. I've started trying to think of 5 things that I'm grateful for that day specifically. My son made me laugh. It can be as simple as that, you know,
Right.
just 5 things from that day that I'm grateful for.
That's
So,
actually really important to look at the smaller things because we often just, they come, they go, and we don't really enjoy them. And so to say, my son made me laugh, and you can even think, what did he do that made me laugh? And
Yeah.
you'd replay it, and you'd laugh again.
Yeah.
Probably,
And again,
right?
writing,
Yes,
writing
yeah.
it down
Yeah.
makes
I
you,
haven't been writing it
Okay,
down, but
okay.
I need to. That'd be great.
because then you remember it even the next day and the next day, and it stays there.
So remember, behavior.
'Kay.
That's the key. It's
I
behavior.
like it.
Follow
Okay.
up
Okay.
on it.